Shout out to onions though. Hey yo, gang, baby, what's going down? I'm Styles the Prophet.
I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
And this is the 4G Audio Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. I just want to say rest in peace to George Young. Boston George. You done know.
Yeah.
But, however, tonight we got a special guest. I had a big intro, and I'm trying to remember it all. Fucking skate park designer. Skate park builder, too, maybe?
Yeah, ex-skate park.
Fucking studio designer and builder.
Yeah.
Fucking Burrow Media studio owner, and engineer and fucking producer, fucking slash everything.
Well, shit.
Extraordinary.
Twigs The Engineer.
Make some
In
noise.
the building. Actually, he's already in the building because this is his building.
That's
So,
right.
Fucking, but yeah, man, thanks for coming out.
Well, thank you for having me on your show, man. I appreciate it.
Happy
Yeah.
Friday. Cheers, everybody.
Hey.
Cheer! I can't reach.
Cheers.
Oh,
Cheers.
pass the cheers. Clink.
Yeah.
Cheers, boys. So we had you on before.
Yeah.
It's a hybrid with you and Bully. Anybody can go check that out. I forget what episode it is. I did look it up and now I forget.
Oh, yeah.
But go check that out for any further information. But however, we're here to talk about the now.
Mhm.
So last time whenever we spoke, I believe that the building we're in right now was just a dream.
Yeah.
Or like
Very true.
a part of a plan.
Yeah.
And now it's this. So I mean, tell us a little bit about getting to here.
Yeah. So, pretty much, when I was on the podcast last time, I was working with Bully Zone in his studio, and I was using my, he basically gave me a test run for my brand in
Yeah.
his
Right.
space, right? So it went really well. Things kept moving up and up, and eventually I got to a point where we were able to expand. And shout out to Bully Zone too. He got me a sick
Shout out.
deal on this. Sick deal on this spot here. He put in a good word with the landlord for me, and and now we're here. We started planning it, and
Yeah, you designed and built the whole thing.
yeah, we designed
yeah.
it, and took about 3 months to build, but definitely wouldn't have happened, man, if I hadn't had that chance to do that in his spot there with
Yeah.
him. So yeah, it's been a long journey, but finally ready. We're
Yeah.
open now despite
right.
COVID.
That's
and,
just it, man. It's fully open. Fucking. Actually, speaking of that, if you need any recording or mixing, mastering, fucking editing, all that shit,
Yeah.
video editing, video shooting.
audio, visual. We do
All that
branding
shit.
as well. We do websites,
They do it all.
all sorts of
Does
stuff.
it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. So
It's right there, actually,
while
right
we're
behind
on
you.
it,
Yeah.
while we're on it. Oh, on the screen.
No, up.
Oh, I thought you meant on the
you
thing.
can't quite see them,
I got
but
my
yeah.
posters up there.
Yeah.
I just figured while we're on it, I better plug that because, by the way, you can get your stuff done here too.
You can.
But yeah, no. So it was also, I guess, you had a little bit of trouble with the lockdown at the beginning, or
Yeah, it was just unclear. It still is a little bit. I remember we opened on the 30th, and we were open 4 days, and then they announced the shutdown, right? So the first time they announced it, I was closed because I thought I was non-essential retail. But
Yeah.
it turns out I'm in a category which is performing arts facilities, which have different conditions, right?
that's sick
Yeah.
though, man.
Yeah, the second day, they don't really update this stuff on the news, very specific what exactly is
Yeah.
open and not. It's more for like the everyday person.
Well, even
Yeah.
today, I was looking on the government site for some shit like flying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was again, it was super unclear.
Yeah.
Like,
So
Well,
there's an actual law, like it's the Ontario law for a shutdown, and they update that. So when you call like the business hotline for checking if you're allowed open or not, they just read off this PDF that they update every few days. So I
Right,
just
right.
check that every morning, and since the second day of the shutdown, we're technically an essential business.
That's
Right on.
awesome,
Pretty
man.
sick. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
So that worked out.
We're
then.
almost out of it now too,
yeah.
Couple more weeks, I think. So
Mhm. Can't wait till it's done, but
hopefully it's the last one.
yeah.
I see you got a couple producers here too, or not producers, engineers and shit like that
Yeah.
here too. So you're like running a.
Oh yeah, we got a
A
good
big
team
gig.
here. Yeah, for sure. I have one of my guys goes by Eurovie. He's a really really good cinematographer.
Nice.
He's done lots of great work. He's worked on huge shows all over the world and in Europe. I think he did Big Brother.
Oh
which
no
No
way!
way.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
a
no
really
way.
big one there.
Yeah.
So we got him on the team. I also have our friend Mo, who goes by Mofro Productions, and he does all sorts of production. He's a great engineer, but he specializes in composing, and he makes like film scores and
Oh, no
video
way.
game music. Yeah, all
Oh,
sorts
cool.
of that.
really cool.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So that's really cool too. And
Scores, I like that.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like full movies, man. Like we can make sound for film
No
and
way.
video games.
That's
Fuck.
just fun, man.
Let's
Like,
make a short movie, man.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Fuck, seriously.
Short film, 4G audio
Yeah.
short film.
Yeah.
Probably a worse actor than I
documentary.
think.
Yeah,
documentary.
Oh shit! Yeah, no, that'd be a good idea. But no, see, it's funny. Just whenever you said, sorry, I keep leaning back. But whenever you said scores, I'm thinking, it's just funny because like no one really like know what that means or whatever. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like I just heard it not long ago where like that was the like premise was the person was being like oh like it's not songs, it's scores
score.
or whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and they were
it's,
like.
it's because you're watching footage and you're producing or composing the music to the footage.
Yeah,
It's not like you're just making a song and then matching it with a scene or a take.
Yeah.
Like, you know, stuff
And-
is timed
And they
as well.
do it in like
Yeah.
what's the other in like plays and shit too, right?
Yep.
Like yeah.
Yeah, all sorts of productions. They you know, they have to score it after it's been filmed. So yeah, that's a big part of it.
Do you do like? Have you tried like Foley work too? Is that something? You're
Yeah,
like-
a little bit.
Sick.
Not so much lately. You know, with COVID again, like the film work and all these big companies that are doing films are kind of limited in what they can do. But for us, like pretty much any sort of production we have experience in. We've done some Foley art for like little documentary series, and we had like the first week we opened, we had Big Heart Studios, which is an animation company here,
Oh, nice.
and they were doing their voiceovers. It's a children's show, so we were doing some Foley art for that too. So yeah, it's all sorts of stuff. We got the rooms to do it. You know, we have all the
Yeah.
equipment here, so it's
Too
pretty
bad
awesome.
we couldn't take everyone on a little journey through, you know.
Yeah, really, eh?
That'd be
Well, we
cool.
will though.
Well,
We'll
we
have to
can-
come back
one
and do
day
the
we'll do
pull up,
that,
man.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be done.
And then we'll get you to edit it.
Sure, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, starring, edited by.
That's right. We got Leo up in the chat.
Gang, gang.
What up,
Yeah.
Leo?
Yeah.
Literally
What
he
up,
said.
bro?
No way. See, like I said, I need a T-shirt, man. Gang,
Yeah,
gang.
totally.
Hilarious. However, fucking, that's what started all that shit. Me sticking up for Liam. Any motherfucking way. This isn't about that. But yeah, I saw a long process for building this shop though.
Oh yeah.
And I heard some struggles.
Oh,
like
yeah.
getting the console up here and shit
Oh,
like
that
that.
was the
and-
first of many, man.
Yeah,
That was
waiting on. We were waiting on fucking paint at one point
yeah.
or something.
Screws,
Screws.
everything.
Screws.
man.
Oh
Like,
yeah, yeah.
Materials.
Lots
Fucking.
of hiccups, man. Like
Yeah, and that was a lot of that was because of the fucking.
yeah,
COVID.
just
COVID,
you know,
yeah.
hardware stores, vendors being closed for walking in.
Yeah.
Man, you're probably lucky when you built it when you did too, because I hear the price of lumber
Exactly.
right now.
It's
I was
ridiculous.
gonna say
that, man.
Materials
Apparently,
gone up.
in April 2020, to build a 200 square foot deck, it would cost like $939 or
Yeah.
something like that, and now
It's
it's like
crazy.
$3,600 or something like that. Like April 2021, they said.
And I remember
Crazy.
like back before when I started building stuff, 2012, 13, the price of wood was like half of what it is now on a normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what it normally was. Yeah,
Yes. I remember, a 2x4 was like $1.99 back in the
yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Now, we have hundreds and hundreds here, but they're like $3 each now. And last time I checked, within the last month, 2x4 is $10. $10.
Like an 8-footer?
Yeah, an 8-footer. $10, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Fucked.
So I'm
Like,
lucky,
what,
man.
What justifies, like, is it just like lack of demand or
I
like,
have no idea.
lack of supply?
There's
I mean?
fucking more demand. Oh, lack of supply.
It
Yeah.
must be, yeah.
Okay, guess.
Just getting the raw materials, maybe, but
Yeah, just because of the I don't know. Like
Just for it to jump so
the
much.
lack of work.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the lack of work
Yeah.
doesn't
seems
seem
weird.
to be there to me. You
I
know? There's
thought
a
of
lot of
this-
work going around.
Because somebody was just telling me or like talking to me about this, so I'd just been talking or like thinking about this, and I'm like, man, what if it's just because like, hey, like so essential? There's like certain things that are essential, right? So like construction is essential. So it's like, hey, if I can make the money here, I might as well make it, right? You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
hey, I can sell this, I'll sell this then, and I'll get my money's worth or whatever, right?
Oh yeah.
That's, I mean, I'm not saying that's the answer. I'm just saying that's something I had thought of. It was like, maybe that's what it is like, because it's like, you know, other stores aren't able to, you know,
Yeah.
make the money because they're
Yeah.
not essential, or something they sell
Yeah.
isn't essential, or half their store's not essential, so they're not making the money. But someone like that's like, I'm going to capitalize on this. Is like, you know,
Yeah.
you're still allowed to go to work. You're going to go to work, but you're
Yeah.
going to buy my shit off me. Like,
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Yeah.
again, like, it's probably more likely to be, what do you say? Supply.
Lack of supply.
Yeah. Because also we get our wood from the States. We ship our wood to the States.
and we
Actually,
get it.
and then they
Sell it
like
back.
cut it down and sell it back to us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the dumbest fucking shit in the
Right?
world.
Bro, seriously. Same
just
thing.
makes
We
no
have so
sense.
much lumber.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
apparently the same thing with our
Employ
oil too,
people,
man.
Like,
Our oil's the same apparently too. Is we send them the oil and then they send us back gas.
Yeah, refine it, send it back.
Like, thanks,
It's
bro.
like,
That's
Like,
the
build our own
agreement,
refineries
so
and
what?
our
America
own
There's
doesn't
so
fucking
many of
win
them
things
around.
after
There's so
year.
many around. Like,
Yeah. Oh, it's that just, you know, when they do the online pickup thing, stuff gets behind.
yeah.
So simple things like a box of screws, man, like
You wait a week.
you
for
gotta
them.
wait like 2 weeks,
Yeah.
man, just for that one little tiny,
Yeah.
you know. And then you go sometimes and they're
See,
like, oh, we ran out. Like,
Man, and
I called, man. I think I even told you. Like, I called there, like not there, but I called the place like in Renfrew,
yeah.
and they were like, I was like, how long is it for me to get a box of screws? They're like, well, like, if you want like the fucking delivery or whatever, it can be whatever.
Yeah.
But if you do the pickup, it's like within the hour. I'm like,
And Renfrew.
yeah. I was like, what the fuck?
Really?
Yeah, but I thought I told you that, and then like it just
Yeah.
sort of like it was either the paint or the fucking screws. But I was like, oh yeah, like really? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, no, at Rona.
I was gonna grab them, but
Yeah, no, we got some. Someone brought some by. Thanks for that.
oh,
again,
maybe
bro.
that's what it was. It was
Yeah.
when, by the time I told you that, you were like, oh, we got some.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah. But you know, it was Rona when we went to get our screws, and the other thing was plexiglass, man. Holy, getting plexiglass during COVID, like for all these double
Really?
windows
Yeah,
we
right.
have, and like
People were buying it.
yeah, stores were using their own
Yeah.
stock for their
Oh,
cash.
Yeah.
true.
Like-
yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
I was like,
For the
weird. I'm like, as if the,
cashiers and
Yeah,
Ubers,
Oh,
taxis,
man, yeah.
Yeah,
all that sort of thing.
Golf
for
carts.
that.
golf carts.
Man,
yeah, they had like a little divider in the golf cart. Everything.
for real.
Oh, facts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a golf cart without it, so we could pass our joints and shit. But
Yeah.
weird. So weird, man.
Yeah,
like,
it
what
is.
the
It's
fuck?
weird. You're outside, you know.
Yeah.
Golf carts. It's just that's like wearing a mask inside of a vehicle.
Yeah.
you
By
by
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah.
Windows up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Weird. But since you are open during COVID, you do have some restrictions here though too.
Yeah, so we're limited to 4 people, unfortunately, but based on what's been happening since we opened, we haven't had too many groups of, you know, like crazy amounts of people.
Like
So
overworking.
yeah, so that's been all right. And I got to do my contact tracing, and I got to, you know, I got my plan, my COVID safety plan and everything.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm just sticking to the rules, man. Like, even just here with us now, since we're in a production, technically,
Yeah.
we're technically acting in it, right? So
Right.
according to the law, we're allowed to be acting in a production in close proximity if it's for the purpose of
Oh no way.
yeah, so that's
That's like I heard.
It's so arbitrary.
Oh,
man.
I know.
Like,
It
it's
makes-
so ridiculous.
yeah.
'Cause it's entertainment.
I mean, I'm
See-
glad we were able to do this, but like,
Yeah.
I've heard, and I don't know if this is everywhere, but I know that someone said this about Ottawa. I guess there's a rule or like a bylaw in Ottawa, so you can't smoke inside, right? But if you're performing or whatever, if it's for the performance
Yep.
or whatever, you can smoke.
yeah.
So
Right.
you like, just say, yeah, it's part of my performance
Yeah.
or whatever, right? And you can smoke. So point is just same thing. It's like there's different rules for whenever you're doing different things.
Yeah.
But other than that, fucking say we're all here recording in fucking song.
Yeah,
we
you're
ought
making
to
a
be
production.
spread apart,
Yeah.
or it's
Exactly, man.
yeah, crazy. That's
Mhm.
cool.
But it is weird to see, you see Doug Ford do his announcement and you go look up the rule and it's like, oh, we can do that. Sick.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like dope.
Yeah, once you look into the finer details of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
This is allowed. That's not allowed, but this is allowed.
exactly. If we weren't filming, we'd bylaw fine.
The
right
rules
there,
are
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
The rules
Stick a
are
camera in front of it.
crazy.
And
Yeah,
just like
we're good.
just like go into a grocery store and be like, I'm filming. This.
I'm
Yeah.
filming,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
for a
It's my
production.
performance, yeah. Fucking
what it
right,
is.
yeah. I mean, I probably wouldn't go that far, but at the same time, I
Grocery store is like a
Be worth
classic
the
hit
video.
for videos, I find.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
People are always going to the grocery store to make stupid videos.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
yeah. I saw a guy the other day. He was fucking pretending to work at Canadian Tire. He was all dressed like he worked at Canadian Tire.
Yeah.
And he was doing like the sidewalk pickup shit. So he was walking around and he's like, Did you order this pack of gum? Or whatever, like little shit like that. And then he
Oh,
was like
man.
walking around trying to pump people's gas and shit like
Oh,
that.
no
and, like,
way.
The guy comes out, he's like, What are you doing here? He's like, I don't know. He's like, They just told me to come here and pump gas and shit. But he's all dressed up like he works there. Anyway, sorry.
Classic.
Just speaking of pranks, I love
Yeah.
pranks. Gang. Should you pass me one of those?
Yeah, for sure, bro.
I'd have one of those.
There you go.
So how long you been like actually open, like officially?
Since the 30th, so we're going on
30th,
about
oh.
a month.
Yeah. Okay.
March?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just over a month. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's been awesome so far.
So you've well, every time I've been here, usually it's Fridays, but you've got something going on. There's
Oh,
people
yeah.
here. There's production happening.
Yep.
So you definitely look like you're busy. You're making a lot of shit happen.
Yeah, I mean it fluctuates here and there. Again, it is just our first month, but we've done better than I thought we would do, especially despite COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just see it getting better and better, man. Everyone who's come has come back or booked again.
Nice.
We've met some great people. The market has expanded too,
Yeah.
because we have the drum room now, and
right.
oh, yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah, so it's
True.
You can get a band in here.
yeah.
Or,
Got bands. Yesterday I had an opera
Instrumentalist.
singer.
No way.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
No way.
It's my first time doing like opera, I guess theatrical kind of music
So
like that.
how would they do that? They already have the music and shit. They got the score.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
the score, man. They come in, and for me,
So
I just
they literally come in like with a beat and a rapper, but they come in like, here's my score.
but
and here's
with
my
a
fucking-
very melodic orchestral
I'm-
piece that they
That's cool.
yeah. But that was my first time hearing it not like recorded already or at a show.
Yeah.
like right there, the person singing.
Yeah, like the raw.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
it's takes a lot of talent to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Takes a
for
lot of
sure.
talent.
Oh,
It
man.
was a female opera singer.
Yeah,
or
female.
male?
Yeah, and it was amazing, man. My first time doing that. It was a cool experience. I learned a little bit about that kind of music, and
Nice.
yeah,
Fuck, that's cool though.
Yeah.
See,
Mhm.
this guy does it all.
we do it all.
All of
man.
it.
Like, literally.
Yeah.
Some
we-
people are like, it does it all, or like he does it all.
Yeah.
No, like he does it all. That's
Have you-
crazy, man.
Have you had a band in here yet?
We've had one. We weren't able to track the drums. They were doing guitar.
Oh, okay.
But I've played around on the kit so far. It is a little tough because bands are groups, right? So
Yeah.
with COVID, getting a group of guys
Right,
in
yeah.
here is
Oh,
a little
true.
tough.
A 4-piece band is pretty, like,
Yeah,
rare.
yeah. It's got to be
It's
like
not a-
it's got to be, because they usually want to record all at the same time, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
So, I've thought about putting like guitarists in this lounge area. We have guys in the drum room, but
Can you record out of Studio B?
yep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
From there?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
can have all of them.
You
one
can
here,
actu-
one there,
yeah.
one there.
You can actually record out of every room here.
No way.
Yeah, so you could set up a drum kit in this room if you wanted and play, and you can use Studio A to track and feed it into Studio B. It's pretty much endless, man. You can send.
Science.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
The opportunities are endless.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you could, still do a band.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. See, I probably wouldn't do drums in here, just because it's not like soundproofed. I don't think.
Yeah.
but like
Oh, we got.
I'm still waiting to play on those drums.
some electric.
Yeah.
I was
Well, maybe after this we could try something out, man.
I was gonna the one day we were here, and I just fucking I felt bad because he went and got me a chair. And then I sat down and I was like, oh man, just because like my knees are higher than my hips. I have to like lift my feet up.
You got to adjust it all.
You know, like yeah. And I was just like,
needs.
fuck it.
Yeah.
I always sit like really high and look like down on my drums, kind of like.
Needs a tuning as well, the kit, but
yeah, you know how to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is there
not.
anything he doesn't know how to do?
I was just for real. Yeah.
He knows how to do it all.
If it makes music in some way, like I got you. Like, look, I learned how to play the computer.
Yeah.
So like, what was the process of building this? Like, kind of like phase by phase.
Yeah. So obviously we started with the planning.
Yeah.
Well, first we started with the funding, right? Because I had
you have to have the money to do it, for sure.
Yeah, so I got that.
Spent his life savings on this shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, like I put in 16 grand of my savings.
Holy fuck,
I had
yeah.
a private investor, well, Bully's own, you know, he.
He's just spilling the
For a
beans.
second he was,
So,
yeah.
He's in the comments saying Twigs looks like a rock star.
Nice, yeah, he
Damn
does.
straight, yeah.
Oh, good night.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Matt Orrs.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh,
just,
gang, he's
cheers.
watching all the way from the camp. Shout out to the boys at the camp.
yeah.
See you tomorrow. I'll bring
That's
the
what he said.
pot
He
and
said
I'll bring the
cheers.
ladle, baby.
Yeah.
He said cheers from the can.
But yeah, I also I got a business loan as well, so
Nice.
I owe money too on this, obviously. But
Yeah. But
That's what it
during
takes
this, it's
sometimes.
probably no fucking
yeah,
interest,
I
right?
do
Or
have.
low
Well,
interest or
I
whatever?
still have interest, but I do have some leniency with in
Yeah.
terms of how long I have.
Nice.
But yeah, like
We don't
I,
have to discuss too much of that if you want to. That's
I've
That's
just been
cool.
blessed. Man. I've had so much support since I started expanding too, and even before that. But like you got even just bringing the console in that first day, man. I did not know I had that many people who were like here ready to be a
Help
part
out.
of it. You know, I was just like, wow, this could really be something big. You know.
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, I heard there was a crew that day, but I
Yeah.
remember anytime we came in, poked our heads in, there was always, there was
More
always a
and
few
more.
people in here
Yeah.
fucking,
I
it's like-
remember the first time we came in and you just had that first corner of of drywall going up.
Yeah.
The very first corner is completely open.
Yeah.
And now it's just this.
Yeah.
Finished product.
Yeah.
I
remember it
it's
was
wild,
tape-
man.
tape
Very
on the floor.
Impressive, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a big room with tape on the floor.
Like marked out like where
Yeah.
gonna be.
Yeah. No, it's been a journey, man, but it's been an amazing experience so far.
It'll fucking all pay off in the end,
Yeah, man. Like I
'cause
say,
you're
word of mouth travels fast, right? Like
It's the
you do
best.
good work, and people are always willing to be like
That's
to
it.
show that off, and,
Yeah.
and you know
Yeah.
promote it that way. So you don't even need to really pay for promotion when you do as good a work as you do. You got people out
It
there.
speaks for itself. and
Respect,
That's facts, man, for
Yeah.
sure.
That's definitely something I've learned too. You know, you gotta put in hours and hours
Oh,
and
for
hours
sure.
and hours. If you want to make like doing creative things as a career to make your income off it when you know you're not employed by someone else, like it
Man,
takes
May-
work. You know?
Mayweather was quoted saying I forget how he was quoted exactly, but what he said was the first 100,000 was the best feeling. Like the first 100,000 he made was the best feeling. He's like, after that, like I make millions, and it didn't mean the same because of how much work he had to put in just to get all those zeros in the first
Right,
place, you
yeah.
know? And like just that, and I just read that today or yesterday, and just that concept is like, wow, yeah, like you really gotta like fucking work hard. It's like they say too, in any business, you don't make money for the first 5 years, right? It's because
That's
you're
right.
fucking working, right? You
Yeah.
know?
And you
So
put all your money into the business to begin
Yeah.
with. Like, you
Yeah.
have no money. The
You
business
got
is
to
the
spend
money.
money to make money.
yeah,
that's
true.
right.
But it's just like you said, it's like a good feeling or whatever,
It
right?
is,
Like
yeah.
And I will say I'm very lucky too, because you know, I've been doing my recording thing for a long time. Like I started my Burrow brand in 2016. Before that, I was just working as me, you know, just
Yeah.
recording people. So I already coming into this, I already had a pretty big amount of people I worked with already, you know. So
Yeah.
starting and expanding to this wasn't like okay, now let's try and get people here. You know, like we had.
I already knew there was going to be.
Yeah.
We had a test run in the beginning. We built the clientele first.
Yeah.
And
Which is very smart play.
yeah, like
Very smart play.
yeah.
Well, I
sure.
even remember whenever you were over at Bully Spot.
Mhm.
Come on now, it's coming. You said, oh yeah, no, it's either you said or Bully said, but that you like crunched the numbers and shit and figured that like with what clientele you had or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
this would still already like kind of work out sort of
Right,
thing.
yeah.
So that was cool because if you're already, like you said, if you're already starting out with that, you're just only building on top
Exactly.
of that, right?
Yeah.
And for me, before I was in Bully Spot, I was in my apartment, which obviously I can't really track drums in my apartment.
Yeah.
I have bands there. We could technically in that room, but I mean, it's, you know, having this now, it really allows us to expand the market too and go bigger and have a different amount of styles of musicians come in and have access to whatever they need, whether they're in a jazz band or a rapper, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything you need, you know, we have it here. So yeah, definitely. It's definitely going well, man.
It's
Yeah,
good
that's
though,
awesome,
man.
man,
Fucking
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So like, have you had a lot of newcomers?
Yeah.
Over the last month? Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of newcomers. I've met some amazing people since last month when I opened. You know, just a huge range. I didn't know there was, you know, talent in all these different areas of,
Right.
you know, I've had people who don't do music at all, you know, just come in for recording in like informative things or like audiobooks, for example.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
done
okay.
audiobooks, you know.
That's a pretty big thing, though.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work, but it pays off, and it's a great thing to do, you know, like.
I should read children's books.
Man.
Just like funnily
Yeah,
or like
yeah.
funny.
Well, man,
funnily.
if you like, you know, people fucking Snoop Dogg fucking got to narrate, what is it, National Geographic or Planet Earth or something, because people like were like, he be fucking wicked doing it.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
So
when
he
does
did
that
it,
shit,
yeah.
though, man. Like his
Like-
commentary on like the like, I think it's national or like
It's what I don't know.
Yeah, like some wild thing.
One of the, like, you know,
Wildlife thing,
Geographic.
yeah. He's hilarious.
documentaries.
It's the same with
Yeah.
the boxing. Was it the recent boxing match?
Yeah.
It was boxing.
Oh, yeah.
The
he's
one,
doing the-
were you
the
here?
Triller
Were you here
fights.
when we watched it? Not here, but at Platinum?
No.
No?
That was
we
the Tyson
came
fights
and
and-
watched. Oh yeah, we came and watched the Tyson's fight.
Yeah.
And I remember fucking sitting there, and he did the most recent one too. But we were sitting here, and like I remember we were all just like cracking up. We're like, man, what the fuck? And we're like, man, Snoop Dogg is like the fucking show right now.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he would just say the most simplest shit. He's like, yeah, he's really hitting him right now, or something like that. And it was just like we'd fucking burst out laughing because he was just being so obvious about
Yeah.
shit. And like, anyways, but point is, we're like, yeah, man, like he fucking wins. And then they invited him back to do it again. I'm like, oh my god, like I'll watch just to see him say like
Yeah.
the obvious shit, you know, like.
People like that, like people, you know, will pay or whatever, get into someone narrating
Yeah,
something like that, like what you were just talking about.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, brother.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't. If you see me on the ground in 5 minutes, you know what?
Is it falling? Yeah.
No, it's good. It's just I can't lean this way too much.
Oh man. Okay, wait. Show us the thing you made with the green screen
Oh, okay. I
and the
popped it up
guys we
earlier.
know.
Here, I'll pop it
Oh,
up again.
okay. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, we can't even see it.
They'll be able to see it though.
You made a cool thing.
They'll all be able to see
Yeah,
it.
I know. Yeah. I
Subscribe,
wanted to show him
bitches.
too, but we'll show him later.
Subscribe.
Yeah. Fucking right. It's some real TV shit. Gang,
Yeah.
gang.
4G audio. So
Shit.
when did you start like designing the plans for all this? Was it like a long time coming?
Yeah.
Did
so
you have like multiple designs too of like how
Yeah,
it could
yeah.
potentially be?
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah.
You seem like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
you needed to get what the actual space you had to work with first,
Yeah.
though, right?
So when it first started, before I even signed the lease or anything, Bully again put in the good word, and he got the key to let me in and show me around. So I took my measurements, and I believe that was in like early November. And so for the construction itself, that's kind of when that planning phase started.
Right.
But for the equipment and the routing, because we have a hybrid recording system, it's not like like an audio interface, you plug a mic in. We have a console, which requires a lot of equipment to run, right? So that design for the console started almost a year ago. Getting an analog piece of equipment, getting patchers to run and route everything, and then convert it into a digital signal for a computer.
Right.
All that takes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I remember seeing all the like, I don't know what you call it, like schematics or like the
Patch
fucking
trees. The schems.
all the fucking wires and everything goes here and this goes here and shit. And I was just like, holy fuck! I'm like, this dude drew this all up himself.
Like that room right there.
Yeah.
That room right there.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Computers are built into the wall.
Yeah, man. Like, that's impressive shit for sure.
We got switchers. You can run any operating system you want just with the press of a button.
But see, like, do you ever have to like go and look at the paper, or do you just know how it all works? Like, you just look at that thing and you're like, oh.
I would study it.
Okay,
I would study it a lot, and I'd tweak it, study it for a week, tweak it, study it.
Because in my mind, I just think you're in here like, yeah, and like, oh, cut to fucking Studio B, and like, oh, like over here, like, here we go.
Like, once it's
drums,
set up, though, like, it's set up now. Like,
once it's done, it's done.
It's done, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like it works, and you can just.
Now it works. Everything is accessible, like to route things. Because with a console, you can't go around the back and plug things in and switch around. So that's why we have the patchers. So yeah, all that is done, finalized. The wiring too. We built all our own cables, which is that's another thing we do as well. Like, we have lots of bulk cables. So if any like home studio engineers or anything, if you guys need cables, we do sell cables. We cut them to custom lengths and all that. So
patch cords,
like
XLRs,
like XLR, like all that sort of stuff.
XLR, patch cords, TRS, speaker cable, pretty much everything, man. We got it here. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so it was a tedious process though. Like, when we had 4,000 feet to cut into individual cables, and that I had a crew here with me. Shout out to those guys helping me out, but it was
shout out.
It was a good week. 3 or 4 people in here, 8-hour, 9-hour days, just soldering all day.
Wow.
You know.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah,
man.
It's pretty crazy, but it's done now.
And that's on just the wires alone.
Just the cables, man.
Fucking right, though.
Yeah.
Hard work pays off.
Cheers to Twigs, y'all.
Thank you.
Fucking right. Oh.
Respect, guys.
Cheers.
I'm all out of beer.
Oh, cheers all the way to fucking Constant. What is it? The fucking Constant Bay. Something.
I don't know.
It's wherever the lads are at. We call it something. The Constant Bay Inn or something, or the Constant Bay B&B or something. They'll tell me.
Can't see that far.
They'll tell you.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what I was looking for.
They'll tell us. That's for sure. That's for sure. But I will say though, man, fucking anytime that I sat over at Platinum and watched you do your thing, seem A, like you know what you're doing, but B, like makes everything move smoothly, and like you just seem to already know what people want. You're like, yeah, I get it, and then like just do it.
Maybe 85-90% of the time I get the idea. Sometimes,
they're probably being confusing though.
No. I mean, like, it is. You know, that's the thing about recording, man. Like, it's a relationship between the artist and whoever's working with them. It's not just like, oh, you want this? Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah, you gotta know the vibe.
Well, and that's kind of what I was getting at too, is that like you seem to be able to get along with people easily. So like, not just get along with people, but in that atmosphere. Yeah. So I mean, like, it's like you were saying, the word of mouth thing, just that all ties into that. It's like, oh yeah, fucking man, he just he just makes it easy and shit, whatever. So
that's what I've found. I've had a lot of people tell me they work with me just because they like working with me. Not because of any. Well, I mean, there's other things too, but like just being in the studio, I guess I tend to make people comfortable, and you know, I've never had any issues or anything like that in regards to like trying to produce something or do something a certain way. It always works out fine, man. We always have a great session and get some good music done.
I think what it is, you're not overpowering. Like you're not like,
yeah, well, it's not my.
do
it's
it
not
this
my
way,
music.
but you
Yeah.
do put your opinion in or whatever, or
Yeah.
like you do like do it how you
Yeah. At
see
the
it
end of
fit.
the day,
but like,
I have the same goal as the artist, and that is to get a song that they listen to and they're like, "Whoa, this sounds dope."
yeah,
I want to put this out right now. Like, you know, I that's ultimately the reaction that both I think the artist and me are going for. You know, just to have.
I find like whenever I was producing like for stuff, like you always take whatever project you're working on, like you almost, it's like your own, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're working with this artist or for this artist.
Yeah.
But when you put all those hours into making something,
Right.
it becomes like your work, right? So
Yeah.
you want to make it the best.
Exactly.
And you want to,
Exactly.
you know,
yeah.
Yeah.
try to realize that artist's vision as best as possible. You know what
exactly,
I mean? So
yeah, that's exactly.
Well,
you know, you really want to work hard on it.
You were saying, I think you were saying that same thing. We were talking about this. I remember thinking in my head, I'm like, oh man, I'm like, should save this because this is like podcast talk. This was probably a month ago now, but we were over at Platinum talking and shit. And that's exactly the same thing. What you were
Yeah.
saying is you're like, man, you're like, it's my name on it too and shit, right? So like,
Mhm.
fucking more along the lines of like you were talking about putting your opinion in, being like, well, like, it doesn't sound like
Yeah.
change this thing or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
I don't
because
I don't-
you
yeah.
want it to come out like
Exactly.
Uh,
Like, I don't usually, especially with rap music, because I didn't grow up listening to hip hop or anything.
no, yeah,
It's very much into rock music and stuff. So for me to sit there and try to like vocally coach a rapper or something doesn't usually work because
Yeah.
I don't have that experience in that style of music to try to like coach a rap. Like,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they, you don't really need that. They don't really, you know, most of the time you're tracking them to again get the quality of the track sounding perfect so they can release it, and you're not really thinking about what words there's, you know, stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
about just the sound of it. I hear like the frequencies and the pitches and the melodies. I don't really hear like the words and the sentences stuff.
yeah,
like that,
yeah.
you know,
I
so-
might have been mashing our conversation into one, but at one point we were talking about that, like
Yeah.
people. You were talking about giving like advice on certain things or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
I tend really to avoid that unless people ask for it or I
Yeah.
see that they, you know.
well, I even noticed too how like even with myself, like there was fucking maybe something that I didn't or couldn't get, like the where I
Oh,
come
your
in
song.
at or
Yeah,
something.
your song. Yeah.
And then you would like just be like, hey, just do whatever you want, and then
Yeah.
you would just put it into
And then
place
we- yeah,
however,
then we
you know,
can
you're like
time
there.
it out, yeah.
So like even something like that, like
Yeah,
you're like just
finding-
putting your own fucking finesse on
Yeah.
it type thing.
And that's just because I know what I can do with the technology I have as well. You know, like if I needed a second take or something like
Yeah.
that, we would have definitely done more takes.
And I used to think that I just had to like spit the whole thing.
Oh,
I was like, oh man, like
yeah, I mean,
I can't do that. I mean, like
It's-
you can't like you can still do it that way, but I
If you
just
want.
I used to just think that that's like you had to spit your whole 16 and then like there it is, like
Yeah.
yeah,
oh.
It's different when you're doing like a studio recording. They're like a live show. Like
Yeah.
obviously, like it's best if you can just like spit your.
Oh,
whole
yeah,
voice, you know
yeah.
what I mean, but when it comes to a recording session, like to get the best version of
Yeah,
it,
like the
you know what I mean? Like,
the
you, 'cause,
production,
like you could
best
take, you could do
production of
a
it.
verse and like you might like lose your breath at a certain point or whatever, and like when you're doing a live show, it's like whatever, nobody notices, you know. But when you're recording, like it doesn't. You should say, okay, let's just go back and
Yeah.
punch that in and take it from there.
Yeah.
whatever. And really try to nail
Exactly.
like the best performance, you know.
and the more experience you have, the easier it is to know what you can do with the sound before trying it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you hear something and it's like, oh, I could do this and this and this and that with this and make it sound that way. So I'll keep this, put it to the side. Let's do a few more. Like, you know,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
just knowing what you can do.
Yeah, like
after
the
and
options
yeah,
type thing, yeah.
exactly. So that's comes with experience and just education, man. And
experience.
it's a, you know, it's a huge part of it.
Same experience.
Yeah.
Shit. Because obviously, would you say at some point you said 2012 or
Yeah.
something? So you've been doing this for like 10 years or more?
Oh yeah, well, I started out like just recording myself, and I was like 11, 12 years old. But then I went to there's called the Ottawa Recording School, run by Chad Nazarella. Shout out to Chad Nazarella, man. He's one of the biggest engineer producers in Ottawa. But he had a youth program. He still does. It's called the Music Factory. And I went there when I was a kid for 2 years. And it's a great program, man. Like, you know, I was at that age learning about like copyright and how to record, and we were in the studio, and it was amazing. Great experience. Then when I was 14, I went on Kijiji, and I just looked up recording studios, and I called a few like, hey, can I come just shadow you and intern and see what's up? And one of them got back to me. So I went. Turns out it was The Cave. And I was 14. I didn't know it was like a hip hop studio or anything, but it turned out to be another great experience, man. Like just sitting in, seeing a professional studio at work, their daily stuff, you know, it helps too. So so after that, it was kind of, you know, I was jumping around working for different companies. I was doing live sound for a little while, which that's a good thing to do as well. Like if you're an engineer or a producer, try to get into live audio, because that's where you're going to get hired by companies who hire huge artists, you know. So if you have like a home studio, it may be a while before you get to work with someone super famous. If you do live sound, you know, you could, like my first shift was the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No
you know
way.
What I mean? First ever shift. And that's
Crazy.
and it's so definitely something good to check out if you're into to music and engineering.
What?
Yeah,
It's good advice right there.
Yeah, that's crazy though. Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Yeah, it's huge.
It's been a
man.
lot, man. Like,
You get to like touch them and shit?
no, I was side stage. I got to see them from
Yeah.
like 6-7 feet away, but but it goes, you know, that was the start. You know, we did Red Bull Crash Dice.
Oh, yeah.
We've done the Tragically Hip, Tom Petty.
Man.
Bunch of, and it's all Blues Fest, you know, these
Right.
big events run by the city. So yeah, it's definitely a good way to get into kind of networking with bigger people in music, bigger artists and stuff. So.
Shit, that's
For
cool,
sure.
man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't know you did that type of shit too. Yeah. So like, were you recording the lives, or you're just doing live audio?
So I
Yeah.
started just doing setups. Like I was a loader to start. I started this when I was 16. About a year and a half later, I started getting calls to do monitor tech, because the only reason, like, I got this offer because I went to, like, RBC Blues Fest has a music school, and they teach a live audio course, which is a great course. It's like, I think 2 months long and one day a week. So I did that course, and then the teacher got me the position with Blues Fest. Yeah, so.
Okay, wait.
That's wild.
So I have a question about live audio.
Yeah.
So I was on stage at Rockfest,
Nice.
and they have these fucking things. They'd be on a mic stand, and they'd have an XLR cable plugged into them. But they were like just like a big flat thing.
Those are antenna. Well, they're technically antennas, but they boost a wireless transmission signal. So if
For
there's
like the fucking
either wireless guitar, in-ear monitors, most big shows where they're running wireless.
they said Shure and shit on them too. So I was like,
Shure.
what are these things?
They're either Shures or Sennheisers or any of those brands. Couple things. It helps boost the signal if you're running like wireless from a great distance.
Yeah.
So you don't get like latency and things
Big
like
stages
that.
too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it also helps block out other frequency, maybe on the crowd's phones or something that might transmit it.
Right.
Yeah. So a few years ago, I used to work with.
It's been like 3 years that I've been like wondering.
Yeah, it's wireless. So 3 years ago, I was working at Fleet. Well, I was doing a co-op. It was a Fleet Pro Sound and Lighting, and they did Ottawa Race Weekend, and that, like, it's a whole like 5 kilometer long track, right?
Yeah.
But there's speakers along the whole track, and the speakers, the signal is being sent from the starting line. And so at first we were like, it was run by cables, no wireless, and it was literally like it was, every speaker was little offset, right? So everything that would play out of the first speaker and then play out of the last speaker like 30 seconds later, because it was 5 kilometers of just speaker tower
Were
after
the
speaker
speakers
tower.
far enough away that they could hear them separately, or was it
was
like
weird.
a bunch
Like
of muffled
it
shit?
was like you get this weird phase effect when, like, if someone's running down the course, it was probably disorienting. You know, like it was. But yeah, but then the next year we did the wireless with those devices there, and it was solved. You know, so that's another cool way to use those.
That's cool. I forget what I thought they were, but I had some. Maybe that's what I thought they were, but no, I had something about them.
Yeah.
But I figured they had to do something because they were microphone, like they were Shure, right?
Yeah.
And they had the XLR, so they must do like something that, like,
Yeah.
And they're on the stage. They have something to do with this.
Yeah.
Whatever
Basically
is
just
going on.
giant antennas.
That's
signal
cool.
Yeah,
boosters.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking like the internet, like what is it, like a router or like the extender thing, you
Mhm.
know, where it like
Yeah,
relays the shit.
Sort of like, yeah, a little bit like that.
Science, bitch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fuck. That's crazy, yeah. But like I said, man, I went to Rockfest 2017 and 2018. But 2018, my buddy got us these tickets so we could go on stage.
Nice.
And like, I just got a normal ticket just to like go to the concert.
Mhm.
But he goes every year and he never buys a ticket. But he goes and meets his buddy on Friday morning. His buddy gives him these tickets because his buddy like books the bands or something like that.
Nice.
And he, they've known each other for years. They used to have like competitions to see who could like make the like have the biggest show or whatever. They were like promoters and shit.
Right.
And so yeah, this guy always gives him these tickets. I was like, oh, what kind of ticket did you get, man? Like, you're always backstage and shit. He's like, I didn't get a ticket. I'm like, what? He's like, I never buy a ticket. I'm like, what? Then he came back. I'm like, we were just standing on the hotel watching Dropkick Murphys. He's like, oh, well, you guys were on the hotel. He's like, I was in the hotel getting these, and he pulls them out. And they're like, it said that we worked there. Like, it
Nice.
was like, I forget how it was worded, but it was like fucking like staff type thing.
Yeah.
And so yeah, they'd like, we'd walk up, they'd like open the gate for us and like drinking
Nice.
beers, walking in and shit. Like,
Yeah.
You're like Wayne's. Was it Wayne's World where he's just like?
yeah, man, yeah, seriously,
Yeah.
yeah, I was doing that too. Fucking, I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, I work here, yeah, I work here, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
But like I said, so yeah, that was 3 years ago. This
Summer.
Wait.
June.
isn't it?
Probably
Yeah, it's
June.
June. That's right. Yeah, so it's the second week of June.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're about a month off of 3 years, and
Yeah.
I've been wondering what that was.
Yeah.
That's
They're
awesome.
pretty-
Answered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, as soon as you said something about that, I'm like, wait a sec. I'm like, I have a question to ask. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't jump in yet.
Yeah.
Let him speak. Sorry, but yeah,
I don't know.
nice.
Yeah. Blues
I-
Fest is a lot of fun though, man.
No
It's-
doubt.
Yeah.
Did,
It's amazing.
did you get to meet any of the people? Well, like you said, you're
Yeah,
kinda
you get
off
to meet
stage,
the
but-
people, you get to meet their crews. I mean, assuming, you do your due diligence and do your job and everything.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You stick around, make friends, and it's a great experience, man.
That's cool. Yeah.
Some crazy stuff happens here and there, like
Like fuck ups or like fights?
fuck ups.
Oh,
Well, it's
shit.
technology, bro.
Oh, Twigs
Yeah.
fucked up.
Well, no, bro. Like
I'm just.
the guy that was teaching me in my course, his first ever shift at Blues Fest was the day that the stage collapsed.
No.
2014. And take this in, he was not on the stage. He was on the lighting tower, looking down on the stage.
Oh,
No.
And the lighting tower is like a skinny little truss
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
big platform on it.
Wow.
Everyone's running down. No one's tying off. No one's doing. They're just running down this
Oh,
huge
man.
That'd be a
thing.
trip.
It'd be
for
Yeah.
terrifying, man.
No way.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
So that
that's
was
fucking
that would have been crazy. That would have been insane. Yeah. Kanye West, he had a lighting setup that was just light bulbs. Like it was a huge panel. You can look
Oh,
it up on
yeah.
YouTube. It was one of his tours he did I think 2015. But it was just light bulbs. And it took all of the power because we used generators like just like gas
Yeah.
generators. This guy, they tapped into the War Museum. Stole
Wild.
power from the War Museum for Kanye's show.
That's
wild.
Yeah.
So Kanye
Fucking
could have his
Kanye.
light bulb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty crazy.
I saw a thing the other day that was like, it's a video of Kanye, and he's on one end of the stage, and the fucking song starts, like his where he starts rapping or whatever, and he fucking runs across the stage like full bore, fucking rapping his part of the song, and I'm like, I like had this feeling and like whatever, and then I look and there's like a comment underneath, and it's like, this is the most Kanye thing I've ever seen or something like that. And I'm like, man, that's totally like, that's literally like, I wish I could found the words, but that was the feeling I felt, was like, oh my God, like this sums up Kanye. Like,
yeah.
Not even like a energetic jog to like get the crowd hyped. Like he was like sprinting and he's like, da 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 da, because I think it was a fast part of the song or something. Right, he just runs across the stage. Kanye. Gotta love Kanye.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta say, too, man, I appreciate these, man. They can't see them, but again, we'll do the tour.
Plaques.
All the plaques and shit that you made and shit like that. I remember seeing, I think it was Bully Zone and El Dollar like a while ago, like a couple years ago or a year ago or whatever. But it was a picture of them holding, and I was like, fuck, I wonder where they come from. Then I come in here and you got them all up here, so.
Yeah, so here, anyone that does a whole like an EP or an album with us gets a free plaque on the wall. You know, any other projects, really, we sell them too. We make custom plaques as well. I've had a few people who have, you know, done some projects they're proud of, so we've made some plaques for them. And
fucking right.
Yeah, no, it's a good way to commemorate, you know, the
Monte Poems, Hype Man, Above, fucking Mode of the Menace.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, I skipped a couple, but I don't know. There's Nebraska.
Yeah, some
Above.
of the bands.
Is Nebraska a band?
Nebraska's a band, yeah.
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, they're pretty big. I went on tour with them a few years ago. I was just doing their sound, like recording their shows, but.
Yes, man.
Is that just like across Canada, like where the tour?
Ontario.
Just Ontario.
Ontario, yeah.
Ontario gang, bitch. Sorry. I just had to say. While we're on the topic. Oh, actually, speaking of other things that I just have to say, is we're selling these fucking Poutine review shirts. Go to 4gaudiopodcast.com or click the link in our bio or the link in my bio. And you can go pick up one of these shirts, or you can get it on any other item. There's like 69 plus items or something like that, and you get a chance to win $100 or $100 or $100 and a mystery bag.
You heard it. You heard the man.
Just figuring while we were saying things. Oh, the mystery.
Sorry, I'm just like, so usually when I'm at home, like I got my keyboard and I got all the sound effects labeled.
Yeah.
Now on this thing, I have no idea what's what.
Oh yeah.
So
there was one there though that was like sounded evil or whatever. Yeah, mystery bag.
Yeah.
That's a score.
Yeah, right. Oh shit, man. Gang. Sorry. So having your fucking studio at your house, you probably have some events, some eventful stories.
I don't know if I can touch on those ones. Well, I mean, I've had some crazy stuff go down. Any home studio owner or any engineer in a home studio probably knows, you know, stuff happens sometimes, but
yeah,
you know, especially being in an apartment with neighbors and close proximity, you know, walls you can hear right through and shit, you know, you kind of. I personally was always looking to go into a nice soundproofed area. You know?
Yeah. Well, and it's good too because your only neighbor here is fully zoned.
Exactly.
And even though it is soundproofed and everything, even if he does hear you, he's like,
it's a good neighbor.
Turns his music up.
And the first time I went into like a real dead room, like a fully 100% soundproof.
Yeah, I've never actually like been. Yeah.
So in the Audio Recording Academy, like Snoop Dogg has been there too. Like he's got him and his whole crew were there when he came to Ottawa.
Smelt it
years ago, and he's got all his signatures are on the wall and shit. But yeah, you walk in, you close both the doors, and like there's just like zero reverb or like echo or anything. It's like a completely dead room. Yeah. So
even in this room here, man, like when you got both doors shut with the sound lock shut, it's different. Yeah, and just walking into the booth, it's different, man. Like it's the airflow, you know, because sound is air.
Yeah.
So you got to make it airtight essentially to make it sound tight.
Right.
So it's different. It's like a feeling and as well as a sound.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Man, well, there's a fucking room. It's like I don't know. It's like minus fucking whatever decibels or whatever, and it's so quiet that you like can't sit in that room for like a long time. Like there's one dude that made it for like 17 minutes or something like that. But apparently it's so quiet that it'll drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can hear your
blood rushing through your head and shit.
Yeah, like that's fucked,
those
man.
would be crazy.
But again, now that you say that though, that would be the air.
Yeah, well, like what you're hearing
up
is the blood rushing through your head.
Yeah.
They have a place like that in like the Science and Tech Museum here in Ottawa.
Okay.
It's not quite as soundproof.
Yeah, this one's like the quietest room in the world or something like that.
It's the same thing. It's got a little like monitor on the wall, and it shows you the decibel level outside of the room and the decibel level inside the room. And it's a huge difference. So when you walk in there, it's just the most silent you've ever like heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you stay in there for a couple minutes, and then you walk back outside, and everything just seems super loud. You know, just people talking and like just the noise of everything else going on that you're usually just used to. Now sounds like.
They have like all the like triangles and shit like that, and
exactly, it's like something out of like fucking NASA space or some shit.
That's pretty cool.
I want to try it.
Yeah.
It's like sensory
deprivation.
Man, I want to try that too, man.
Is that like that's with like everything?
You like float in the water and shit. Like
all your senses are.
It's like completely dark. You're just floating a little.
Tyler, the creator, did that on his show, and fucking ever since then, I was like, man, I'm like, I want to try that. Cause like, you just float. It's like salt water, so it like floats you high enough that your mouth and shit isn't in the water, and you just lay there, and fucking, it's so quiet and it's dark, and you're just floating. It feels like you're just in space or some shit. Like you're just like floating.
Imagine doing like mushrooms or acid or something like.
Dude,
those things for
dude, yeah, I do it.
I do it too.
Where do they have them?
Yeah.
If you have one of these, call us.
Let us know.
We
want to come do mushrooms in your set.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, as long as you don't mind a bunch of fucking people on mushrooms. Yeah.
I'm sure people have tried it. They must have.
Oh, for sure. I think Joe Rogan's talked about that shit.
Man, like when I'm rich, I'm getting one.
That's the right.
I'm just gonna have it in my house all the time. Fuck that. Yeah. I mean, I need a sensory deprivation buddy. Make sure I don't die. So I'll go in for 15 minutes, and then you go in for 15 minutes, and I'll watch you. But they say though the time doesn't time goes by so like slow or whatever. So like a short period can feel like a long time. And even like I said, whenever Tyler the Creator did it, he came out and was like, he had like he was supposed to be in there for whatever, like let's say 10 minutes or whatever. Whenever he came out, he's like, how long has it been? And they're like, it was like 3 minutes, man. And he's like, what? He's like, man, like what the fuck? Yeah. And he was even like kind of like, I think he had a microphone or something, like they were like, he was like talking, or they could hear him talking in there or something like that. But point is that I'm like, I felt like, like how did you not feel the same if you were like talking, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I guess he didn't, if he felt like it was a long time. It's like, that's fucked. Like,
yeah. Well, I guess like if it is super dark and like you're just sort of floating there.
All your senses are
super disorienting.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like cutting off a cat's whiskers.
Time would definitely feel a little different.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now imagine doing mushrooms in there. Holy fuck, you'd come out and be like, man, it's been like 38 seconds, bro. Man, I was in there for 3 hours, bro. Oh shit, but yeah, I want to try that for sure though.
Bucket list.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be cool.
Get fucking stupid high on mushrooms and sit in a deprivation tank for 38 seconds.
Yeah. Oh shit. Go fucking indoor skydiving.
Oh, is that like just like one of those?
No,
like the whole bucket list is on mushrooms.
Yeah. What's happening? Do you have a fucking pocket thing? Man, holy fuck.
The technology in here is just next level.
Technology and science in here is just fucking, it's on a boss level.
Sometimes people walk in and they don't know I can do that.
Yeah.
So I just like instantly, right as they touch the door handle, I just buzz them in and like, whoa.
Well, yeah, one time I came in and it happened, and I was like, oh yeah, I got it. I'm like, oh, where are you? But I thought you just had like a little like somewhere.
Yeah, no, I have it on my keys.
It's awesome. It's balling, if you will. Excuse me. So, you want to freestyle for us, or?
I don't freestyle, man. Unfortunately, I'd love to, but I'm just not.
I'm just joking, man. And yeah, we already did the questions.
We have.
Yeah. You did the questions, right? Yeah, the pizza and tacos and shit, yeah. Well, man. Well, I want to say a couple of different things. Is not only thanks for coming through, but thanks for having us in your studio.
Well, thank you,
letting us do our thing here and shit.
Yeah.
Of course. Thank you guys for coming. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, man. It's our pleasure for you taking the time to sit down with us. You know.
Yeah, it worked out perfect actually, because like you said, you were done at 4, and I'm like, oh fuck,
Yeah,
we got some time.
yeah.
But yeah, any motherfucking way, you guys know who he is, Twigs.
What up?
You don't know
All the way from Burrow Media. His door's there.
Yeah, you'll see it soon enough.
Gang. Once again, don't forget, go pick up Putin Review shirts.
Yeah.
The limited time offer. Like I said, giveaway $100 and a fucking mystery bag.
Mystery bag.
You have to send us a screenshot of your confirmation of your order.
So just to confirm for all the listeners that are paying attention, the $100 goes. Is it just like a random name in a hat, like, or like the first person, or like the first, like who?
Oh, it's a random name in a hat.
Okay,
Yeah.
right.
Oh yeah. No,
So
we've already had orders. It's just they're all gonna go. You got to send me the fucking screenshot of your confirmation, and you got to get this logo on anything, and you're entered.
Yeah.
Nice.
So go copy.
So go get it.
Putin
Go get
Review
yourself
shirt
one. Go
right
get
now.
yourself $100.
We'll do it.
Or a
Yeah.
mystery bag.
Gang. And that's it. Sorry. Any motherfucking way. Sorry, guys. I'm Styles the Prophet, baby.
I'm B Show.
I'm Jonesy.
And we're the Basement Weirdos. Tonight we have fucking Twigs on the 4G Audio Podcast.
Yeah.
All the way from Burrow Media. Gang, baby.
Burrow Media.
Right.
Peace out. Thanks for tuning in.
Catch y'all on the next one.
Big gang signs.